It is Friday, April 22nd, and we are back for episode 15. A lot of baseball and hockey to talk about today. The NBA playoffs are heating up and getting pretty chippy. Also, the NFL draft is about a week away, so we have some predictions and storylines to follow for that. We are all three finishing up our semesters, so we've all been pretty busy here with finals and papers. But hey, the show must go on. Our interview last week with Haley Cloud turned out really well. We actually gained 30 more subscribers, so thank you all for that. For any new listeners or viewers, I'm AJ here with Zach and Colin. Zach, you doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good. Last week was busy. I know it was for all of us before Easter. Hope you guys all had a great Easter. But one thing that kind of sucks for me this week is, so I had a presentation for design, I think last week. Yeah. And basically our device didn't work. And they're like, yeah, you probably should just redesign your whole device. And we're like, sick. So that's what I've been doing this whole week. And we got it to work today. So after it worked, we're like, no one touch it until our presentation next week. So it's been good, but I have to make a whole video pitch or redo our video pitch that we made last time, which sucks a lot. So
and you're done May 12th or 13th, something like that?
Next week's my last week of classes, then I have finals. I'm done May 6th.
Okay.
Sweet. How was house hunting?
Hunting.
House hunting.
Hunting.
AJ, you tell them.
House hunting.
House hunting. Apartment hunting, and got an apartment. It was
did you really?
Yeah. So I scheduled a bunch of tours to go to different places. And so we finished a tour and we had extra time till the next one. So we're like, there's this one that didn't have anything available. And I'm like, this one I liked online. I just couldn't schedule a tour, or I didn't because they didn't have any that were available. So my mom's like, all right, let's just go see. We can take a tour, check it out. We go in there, they're like, yeah, we have one available. It's super cheap rent. And I haven't even put it on the website yet. And she's like, we went and looked and we're like, okay, we like it. And then she's like, just call me later in the day and give me yes or no. So I called her, said, yeah, I want it. She put it on the website, clicked it super fast, filled out everything. And it's $400 cheaper a month than any other place we looked at. So we'll save $4,000 a year.
Wow.
Or $4,000 this year.
So you kind of got lucky with it?
Yeah, very lucky.
Good.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yes.
Colin, how you doing?
Is it just a one bedroom? You got a kitchen? How's it all work?
Yeah, it's a 1-bedroom. It's pretty small. It's 700 square feet, which is small, but yeah, I got a whole kitchen, bedroom, little living room, little screened in porch. I'm on the first floor. I'm on the back facing the woods, which is okay. If I look out and there's a gator out there or something, that'd be kind of scary. A python.
I saw when I was in Tampa for spring break, there was gators that I saw. So pretty cool.
I know. I was telling Kaylee, I'm if we look for a house in a year or so, if we get one on the water, we have to be gator aware. Just walk in the backyard and a gator pops up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, 700 square feet doesn't seem that small.
It's not that small. When you walk in there, it doesn't seem that bad. It even had an area for a little kitchen table. But all the other ones we looked at were a little bigger, I think.
Is it furnished?
No.
Okay.
How did I not know about this? I feel like this is pretty big news. How is this new news to me?
Wait, what?
How is this new news to me?
What do you mean?
You get an apartment. I didn't even know you picked one out.
Yeah, you didn't
I don't even know
me
if I
either.
told anyone.
Oh, really? Seems like pretty big news.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
But Colin, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. I had my 2 final presentations the last 2 days. Both went really well. I was chilling on my front porch yesterday after my senior design presentation. I had my suit, drinking a beer. Very nice day. It's beautiful. But then I had to start working on my presentation for today. But that went well too. Yeah, being home last weekend for Easter was really nice. Did a little fishing, watched the Blues play on Easter, watched the Cardinal game on Easter. Went turkey hunting on Monday. Had the best turkey setup in my life. It was a really cool hunt, just awesome. So I ended up killing one. Evan killed one the same day as well, so we got a little double picture, which was cool. But yeah, things are kind of slowing down, I guess, up here now. I have final project due on Monday. And then after that, I don't have a whole lot. So I have like 2.5, 3 weeks to kind of just hang out and chill before I graduate, which is really nice. So I'm looking forward to that. Today it's kind of chilly, a little rainy, and we're gonna have some friends over and grill and be the old grill master today. So really excited about. And then tomorrow is the biggest party of the year. I think I sent you guys that link to the Urban Dictionary description of it, but it's called Pictostal, and basically there's like a live pig. There's like thousands of students and like 100 kegs of beer, and yeah,
You kill the pig.
I don't know what the deal is with the pig. I don't think it gets
You get
killed,
like a big sword and just chop its head off.
but it should be a good time. So I'm really excited for it. Trying to convince Gabe Zach to come up next weekend. So he might be coming up. We'll
Sweet.
see. And if he comes up, I'm sure Evan will come up with him. So that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. We are vibing.
How was
What's up?
how was Hannon's baseball games? How's
Oh,
the season looking?
Yeah, so he's still there. They got a just below 500 record. They're 500 in the GAC, which is good. They split with every single team they've played,
It's pretty
which
good.
yeah, which is decent. But they had a chance to, like, if they would have swept the season series against like the worst team in the league, which they split with, they would have a solid chance of like making a run at first in the league. But I don't think they will anymore. He's still playing well. The game I saw, he was like 0 for 1, but with like two good walks. Like he earned them and he got hit by a pitch. And then the next game he was 1 for 1 with a double off the base of the wall.
I saw the double.
In a walk. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
So
that was gone.
yeah, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. Evan and I were like, go, maybe go. And so we were like trying to get it to go out. But the wind was actually blowing in. Otherwise it was out.
I don't remember when you hit your home run, the wind was blowing out.
No. There was no wind. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, it was fun to watch him play too. He had a couple of really slick plays at third, which was cool too. So, and then he also the next game though absolutely airmailed one over the first baseman's head. So was giving him some trouble about that. But yeah, overall he's playing really well.
Have you been, AJ?
I've been all right. Just trying to finish up my classes here. Watching a lot of sports in my free time though. So I want to get into this here with our Did You See It of the week, because I know Zach has a few. I have one that's pretty interesting, and I don't know what Conlon has. So Conlon, you want to get us started?
Dude, I need to start writing these down. I like see all these interesting things, and like throughout the week, I'm like, oh, I'll talk about that. And then like by the time it gets here, I just forget what they are.
I do the same thing. I usually look to see if I send it to you guys, but then I haven't been because then I don't want you to see it. So then I can't find what I'm looking.
Yeah, so sometimes I'll send it to like my two little brothers, but I guess I didn't do that either. But this one, I'm sure you guys heard about. Well, there's a couple. I have two actually. The whole Johnny Depp trial. I've been kind of keeping up with that a little bit. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on it are. I'm definitely on Johnny Boy's side. And then Mike Tyson beat a guy up on a plane. Did you guys see that?
No, I did not.
I think I was. I started watching the video, but then I didn't finish it, and I wish I did.
Yeah. So apparently, this guy asked for like a picture with him. So Mike Tyson was like, "Yeah, sure." Like he took a selfie with him, but then the guy must have been like just harassing him like for a good long time, like calling him names, pushing the back of his seat, like just really like getting under his skin. And so then eventually, like he told the guy to like chill out, and then the guy just kept going, and he turned around and started swinging on him. So, and apparently the guy was like really, really drunk too. So just being a real pain.
Did he lay a good one on him?
Oh yeah, he was like all swollen on the side of his head and bloody. So
he still got it.
He still got it. Yeah. Also, how dumb do you have to be to just like antagonize Mike Tyson?
Seriously.
Or how drunk? How many beers do you think it would take you to just like try to fight Mike Tyson?
I'd have to be blacked out. I wouldn't even have to know what I'd be doing.
Yeah, I would need like a gazillion.
I want to go back to that Johnny Depp thing. I don't know. I see it literally everywhere on social media, but I don't know much about what's going on
Same.
with it at all.
Basically, they got divorced like 5 years ago, and then she kind of like went to the Washington Post or something and talked about living in like an abusive relationship or something like that, and never like mentioned Johnny Depp by name. But then he sued her for like defamation, and there's this whole thing because like she was apparently abusive, and if you go back, there's a bunch of pictures where he's got like bruises, like cuts, like black eye, whatever it may be, and so it's kind of like a combination of like all the stuff he dealt with, but like yeah, it's fairly interesting, so you guys should check it out.
Yeah.
But I've always really liked Johnny Depp as an actor, and I mean I think he's a pretty genuine person, so yeah.
My did you see it is also controversial, but not a little lighter of a situation. It has to do with baseball. So Shohei Ohtani on Wednesday night in Houston had a no-hitter going into the 6th, and was absolutely dealing. And Nico Goodrum for the Astros attempted a bunt to kind of like break up the no-hitter, but it was also like I think it was a 3-0 game at the time. So the ball actually went foul. The Astros, his own crowd, the Astro crowd booed him. And then Ohtani, I think, struck him out, and then 2 batters later he lost the no-hitter anyway. So I have a question for you guys. Like, what's the line for breaking up a no-hitter? Is it bad to break it up in that situation? Is there a certain inning where like trying to bunt to break up the no-hitter is bad, or what? What do you think?
I mean a hit's a hit, right?
Uh-huh.
Also, especially in the 6th when it's a 3-run game, like you're
Yeah.
trying to get base runners, doesn't matter how. So
He's
that's
a
kinda,
fast player.
Exactly.
yeah. So
So
I don't have a problem with it at all.
If it
No,
was
it's
like
baseball.
if it was 9th inning, 6-run game, would you guys have a problem with it then?
Honestly, I would probably bunt. I don't want to be a team that said like you did not get a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Like it's forcing the defense to play straight up. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I guess it is kind of an unwritten rule, but I don't really see a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm not against it or for it really. I'd have to think about it more, but I just thought it was interesting that his own crowd was booing him.
Yeah.
Usually they'd be like, I thought that was really like not just like a slight boo. I mean, they were like heavily getting on to the guy.
I guess they don't really want to like win games.
Yeah, that's dumb.
No idea. No idea.
Also, speaking of perfect game no hitters, this was a couple weeks ago, but we didn't talk about it, or it might have been last week when we didn't have we didn't record. But Kershaw's perfect game going
screw Dave Roberts.
Going into the
like,
8th, right?
Yep.
What
80 pitches too.
80 pitches. That's absurd. Like
He's like 35 too. He's old. Just let him throw.
yeah. Also, like how many? There's been like what 23, 27.
I think
It's
it
not
was
like it was a no
20
hitter. It was a perfect game.
It was a perfect game. Yeah. So it's a no hitter. He's had a no hitter before, I think. So like,
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. But a perfect game when it's only happened like 24 times.
Yeah,
in
like I think
history of
23.
baseball, like you send him back out. You pitch him until his arm falls off.
So I think I completely agree with you guys. I think his reasoning was that like the shortened spring training, he wanted to help prevent him like from an injury for, obviously it's early in the season, but I was thinking the same thing you guys are. If it was just a no-hitter, I don't think I'd have as much of a problem with it, but it's a perfect game. Like you guys said, only 23 of those in the history of baseball. You got to throw him back. And again, 80 pitches. It's not like he was pushing 100 or whatever. He wasn't. I was watching the game live. I watched the 4th through the 7th, and he was literally there was no.
He had like 13
strain.
strikeouts too. I think.
Even if he's at 100 pitches going into the 8th, you throw him back out there.
It's also not some young guy. Like I remember a couple of years ago, Ponce de Leon had a no for us, and it was like he had like 100 pitches in the 7th, something like that, and they took him out. And I think it happened the next night with somebody too, actually. But
Michael Walker almost got one.
Yeah, that one too. But like Kershaw, like you said, is an older veteran guy who's, I don't know. I completely agree with you guys.
Like Johan Santana, whenever he no-hit the Cardinals, he threw like 140 pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I was Kershaw, I would have been throwing hands with my manager And I just would not have came out of that game. Like
I
I
would demand a
literally would have
trade.
been I would have been in a fist fight with my manager if he tried to pull some of that shit. I mean,
So-
it's literally happened 23 times in the history of
I
baseball.
think he's done it
that's
before too. He's taken out a pitcher before, hasn't he?
I mean,
I thought I
it's
saw something Dave
ridiculous.
Roberts did that before.
well,
I would
this,
ruin my career to pitch in perfect game.
yes.
And it's like it's not going to ruin his career. I mean, there's a very, 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 very tiny chance that
Mhm.
he actually gets hurt. He might be a little sore, and he might have to
Yeah.
push back
Pop
his
some
next start.
ibuprofen. I think every pitcher just
Yeah.
loads up on ibuprofen.
But or
Yeah.
Toradol or something. But Jesus, I mean,
Steroids. No.
yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
No, just in his
No.
next start, limit him to 80 pitches or 75 or something like that. In his next one, or
Yeah, if he
skip the
pitches like the
start.
next game, like I don't know if he's. I guess he's pitched a game probably since then. If he throws over 80 pitches and he's like giving up a hit, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've seen that a couple times already. Sean Manaea had a no hitter in this through 6, and Yu Darvish did also against the Diamondbacks. It was in the same series. They had a no through 6. We might have touched on it. And they had like between 70 and 90 pitches. They were both in that range. And I'm trying to think who their manager is over there. Whatever his name is, he pulled them both too. So obviously they just had a no going, but Kershaw, obviously it's crazy. Zach, did you have any, or did you see it pulled up?
AJ,
I have a
AJ, I like
lot.
the haircut too.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Wow.
I'm
Didn't
always
mention my haircut.
rocking. Oh, you got one too?
Yeah.
For how long have you had it?
I honestly don't remember. These past 2 weeks have been just like a blur.
Oh, same. Normally, like I'll come home and chill after I get done with work, and I'll watch an episode of like Kitchen Nightmares as I'm like eating dinner or something, which doesn't make sense. Like I should not be watching that while I'm eating. But I've not watched like any TV at all. I've been just grinding. So
I've been watching before I
I'm
do
al-
my Did You See It? Sorry. Have you guys ever
Yeah.
watched Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix?
no.
I've seen
Highly,
it like
highly
on there, but I
recommend.
haven't
It's
watched
pretty
it.
good. I'm getting into Formula One now. All right. I'll go through my.
Sorry, Zach. I want to cut you off.
Yeah, you
So
can go.
you know that bookstore basketball tournament, like our largest outdoor basketball tournament in the world. We ended up. So I told you we beat the football team or football players
You beat the priests.
in overtime. Yeah, we beat the Priests earlier. So we started with like 250 teams, and we ended up losing in the Sweet 16. So we won 2 games in overtime back to back. The one game it was like raining, pouring. It was like pretty cold. It was super interesting, but like really fun too. But last game, yeah, we lost on Tuesday, I guess, and the team we played wasn't like we could have beat them. They were probably a little better than us, but like they could not miss a shot. Like they were getting the most absurd like soft rolls I've ever seen. So it was really frustrating, but whatever. It was a fairly close game too. So it was like we very well could have won. But my basketball career has come to an end officially.
Hanging them up.
Hanging them up.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
I think I'm gonna throw my shoes away. Yeah, like my outdoor shoes now. There's nothing on the bottom of them.
All right. So the moment everyone's been waiting for my Did You See It? My first Did You See It is the Timberwolves protesters. Did you guys see the protesters? The one lady
Yes.
run onto the floor and try to glue herself to the floor, which if you're going to glue yourself to the floor, don't just glue your wrist. Just lay on the floor. Stupid. Then like the next game, a lady chained herself to the basket and they got her off. And so I've been really wanting someone else to protest. Like they've been at home playing in Minnesota now. So I really want someone else to do something crazy. Like, I don't know.
What are they protesting?
I'll get to that. So the owner of the Timberwolves, he like owns like chicken farm or something. And he like killed like 5 million birds because they had like the bird flu. And so that's why they're protesting it for animal rights. Which
Oh my
honestly, like if a lot of birds die from the bird flu, like killing them will prevent from infecting more birds. Also, we kill chickens every day to eat them, and
Yeah,
we
get 'em
shoot
outta
birds
here.
to hunt them.
I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea that there was any reasoning behind them protesting.
Yeah,
I thought
that
she
was
was
the
just like
reasoning.
hammered or like just out of, I don't know.
I was
thought she
listening.
just
I was
crazy.
listening
Just
to a
for shits and
podcast.
gigs, like
Yeah, I thought it
chain
was just,
herself up
yeah,
to the.
like you
Oh
see
my
people
God.
streaking on like
Yeah.
baseball fields. So I thought it was one of those situations.
I was listening to a podcast and they were like, if another third protester comes, he's like, the next game before the game, their owner should bring out a live chicken and just kill it, cut its head off before
I
the game.
agree.
So my next one, so when the Cardinals won that game against the Marlins, whenever Arenado hit that 2-run homer in the ninth, did you guys see the view from the dugout?
So cool, man.
I listened to it so much because the sound off the bat was amazing. I
Yeah.
just thought that was really cool. My second one or third one, whoa. We talked about this before we started the episode, but JUCO college in Texas, this pitcher gives up a home run and the guy's rounding the bases. And I guess they must have been chirping at each other. This guy rounds third. The pitcher takes off and gives a textbook tackle, beautiful tackle, and just lays him out. And he got suspended only 4 games. So I say worth it. Like he's probably worth it.
Especially if he's a starter. Like
Yeah.
It'll be 4 games before he pitches again.
Exactly.
Anyways.
And then my other one was the Nico Goodrum, but AJ stole that from me. And then my last one, I don't know if you guys know do you guys know who John Daly is? A golfer?
Golfer,
Yeah.
Him and his son, they signed a father-son NIL deal with Hooters.
Wow.
I thought that was hilarious. There's a picture and John Daly has Hooters pants on. So
he's like the prototypical not in shape golfer, right? He's
he
that guy that
drinks and
just all
smokes. Like
day.
I don't know how he's alive.
Yeah.
I see videos about him all the time.
He's hilarious.
But he was really good in his prime, wasn't he?
He won I think a PGA championship, but like he wasn't even ranked in the world golf rankings or something. He like out of the blue won it. No one expected.
I think he said he was drunk when he did that too.
I think
he was
like here.
He's like, I had a bad first round, and so the second round I went out and crushed like 5 beers before it, and I won.
Doesn't surprise me.
So was he known more for his antics and like stuff that he did like that, or was he actually like a legitimate golfer?
I think he was like solid, but like also probably more known for his antics of just like, I think one golf tournament a couple years ago, like if you win the PGA championship, you're eligible to play in it every single year. And so he was going to play in it and he like requested if he could like ride a cart because I don't think he could walk 18 holes. They declined that.
Well, I do want to get into some baseball and hockey here because Colin's got to go at like in 40 minutes or so. So definitely want to hear some input from all 3 of us here. I wanted to give like a quick little Cardinals weekly update. We're currently 7-4. These last 2 games in Miami, the first one looked great. These last 2 we haven't been able to hit for anything. We have 2 runs in 19 innings, and those 2 runs came off the Arenado homer in the 9th that Zach alluded to. But the real problem I see with it, and Albert's been really good besides last night. I wanted to point out Albert real quick, but Carlson is at the top of the order. It's really the 3 guys. Carlson's batting 167, no homers, 2 RBIs so far. Goldie, who had a tremendous spring, is known for getting hot in like summertime, like when the weather gets warmer and the ball carries more. But he's batting 146, no homers and 1 RBI. And then O'Neill had a tremendous opening day, but since then, I mean, he has 1 RBI and altogether he's batting 231. So, you guys have any thoughts, offensive wise, or is that just really it? Those 3?
Not really. I think those are the those are the 3 guys that we need to get going. I feel like Carlson has started the last 2 years really slow too, though.
He has.
So hopefully he comes on. Yachty also is batting like 130, I think, which is tough. But he also, I guess, hasn't played that many games, so not as big of a deal. But Tommy Edman, who really struggled this spring, didn't he?
Yeah. Him and Goldie switched.
Yeah, and he's
been like 370 something.
Yeah,
and he's got 3 home runs too, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's why it's promising for me, is because we're 7-4 and our top 3 guys besides Arenado have not hit whatsoever, and the pitching's been fantastic.
It's been a lot better. Part. Well, it's been good unless Verhagen's in.
I was gonna say, and Matt's first start was awful.
That was rough. But yeah, if those 3 guys just get on base, if it's a walk or anything, Arenado is hitting the cover off the ball. He had 3 hits last night, or 2 hits, 2 or 3 hits.
3,
right?
he had 3 singles.
Yeah. Like he's destroying the baseball. So like if they can just get on base, he can drive them in.
I
I
know.
think he had 3 of our 5 hits, 3 of our
Yep.
4 hits. Yeah.
What have you
He's
guys
on a
thought of
tear.
Jordan Hicks so far?
I thought he looked good last night watching him.
I did
Kind of
too.
a
A
unique
little
situation.
wild.
Yeah.
What'd you
If
say, Adrian?
DeYoung didn't boot that one ball, he would have.
Yep. I was just gonna say it's kind
Wait,
of a unique situation because he's either coming in like in the piggybacking with Hudson, like, I think twice now, and then he started last night. So he's, I mean, it's obviously you're keeping an eye on keeping an eye on him, like we mentioned. Always like 2 or 3 innings, pitch count, keeping track of it all. But like you said, he was wild last night, a little bit. But yeah, DeYoung botched that one, and then wasn't there another one up the middle where Tommy got it, and
yeah.
it was kind of a mixed. Like I don't
Basically,
remember who got the air on that.
I don't know, but he basically just like whizzed it by DeYoung's head, and like, yeah, I don't know. It was so hard to tell whose fault that was. I like could not like. Tommy threw it a little hard, but DeYoung also like could have caught it. So I don't know.
And they didn't give DeYoung an air on that ball either. They gave it a hit.
The
The
one where he was
first one,
charging
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
but
Jordan Hicks' stuff though is filthy.
it is.
His sliders and sinkers, they just move. It's nuts.
I have an insane amount of respect for catchers in the first place, but I don't know how Yachty and Kiz even catch that thing. Like, how do you know? You almost have to predict where it's going. I don't know. It's a wild thing. Kiz, by the way, has been really hitting well in his time.
Yeah. I'm happy Ollie is playing him more because kind of see that potential. He gets more than one at bat in a month, and he can actually do some. He's like 3rd on our team or 4th on our team in RBIs.
I do want to mention Michaelis too. Michaelis has really pitched well in his starts as well, and
It's huge for him to pitch good.
it's massive, especially when your 4 and 5 starters are kind of piggybacking with each other. Hudson's been giving you 3 innings of like 3-run ball both times out. We're in Cincinnati right now, and Cincinnati's been an extreme disappointment. I'm actually going to get into that in a second, but no, Hudson. I have it here. We have a 3-game series in Cincy. So tonight it's Mats versus Hunter Green. Did you guys see the Hunter Green stat of like he's the big prospect, and since he's
Oh yeah, it's a cool stat, but at the same time it's stupid because
yes, I know
the
what you
last
mean.
game you like threw 39 pitches over 100 miles an hour. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go look. I'm like, oh, and it was against the Dodgers. I'm like, oh, he must have pitched so good. They lost. Like he lost
Yeah.
the game. Like they didn't even win. They lost by like 4 runs.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about it because it was like the most over 100, I think, in a start or in a game ever. DeGrom held the record before that, but he is electric. But we play. It's Hunter Green and Steven Matz tonight. Then it's Dakota Hudson and Tyler Mahle tomorrow, and then Wainwright and Lodolo on Sunday. This is interesting because Waino really pitches well at home, and I will trust Waino in any situation, but on the road he does seem to struggle at times. And Dakota Hudson, he's got to keep the ball down, especially in Cincy. I know they're 2-11, but I mean they can still. Joey Votto's played terrible, but they can definitely hit it out in that ballpark. I did want to talk about. I have like a little segment here I want to go on with you guys. It's called For Real or Too Soon. So I'm going to give you some stats, and you're going to tell me if it's too soon, or if it's actual like this can actually happen the rest of the season. All right. So let's go. CJ Cron right now leads the league in homers with 6. Do you think that stands up?
Like, do I think he's gonna lead at the end of the year?
Or do you think he's in Colorado, he's a big guy.
I think he could be like top 15, top 10 if he's in Colorado. He just hits a hard fly ball and it can go out. I don't think he's gonna lead it though. I think Vladdy's gonna lead it.
Yeah, no, I don't think he will lead it.
Okay. What about the Rockies, who are now 8-4 to start the season? Do they make the playoffs as a wild card with the expanded playoffs?
No.
Nope.
Okay. All right. What about?
What's your answer?
I don't think so either. But I thought it was interesting. Like at this time of year, I think it's interesting how people can get off to a really good start or a really bad start. Like I didn't think the Reds were going to be this bad to start off.
Oh,
the
I
year.
thought they were gonna be awful. They traded like
I
everyone
thought,
away.
I thought they were going to be bad, but not. I mean,
Like I
what
didn't,
is their record now?
2-7.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be that bad, but I thought they would be pretty bad.
So I thought the Pirates were going to be the bottom feeders. The Reds are looking way worse than the Pirates right now. Obviously, it's extremely early, but another one I have is Jose Ramirez, who's batting 426 with 4 homers and 20
Just remember,
RBIs
I had him
already.
as a dark horse MVP candidate. Just saying.
I was just going to bring it up here. Do you think he can win the Triple Crown? Homers is the one I'm worried about.
I'm worried about his average.
Triple
so?
Crown? No, I don't think so. That's too difficult.
I'll say no. I think he'll be up like leaderboards for most like home runs and RBIs. His average is usually like in the 270s, 280s.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is like a little sidetrack note here? Do you guys think there will ever be somebody who bats 400 ever again?
No, not in today's game.
Ever again? Probably not.
Okay.
Also, I don't know. Just that Triple Crown question. Like, there's been one player to win the Triple Crown in like 50, 60 years.
Oh yeah.
So, no.
And then the last one I have here. Let's see if any of these are for real. Will the Reds be the bottom feeders in the NL Central?
Sure.
That,
what the heck?
That might be a maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
The Pirates
Also,
at least have young prospects who could play good. The Reds,
just have nothing.
So that also leads me to, I brought in a segment here as well, like 3 disappointing teams so far and 3 surprises so far. And the Reds are by far the most disappointing for me. I know I mean, like we all said, we knew they were going to not be that great. But 2-11 after, is it last year or the year before? Like they didn't look bad. Like they were
last year they should have been good, but maybe
it was last year. I mean, when they had Castellanos and Votto and some arms in the
Moustakas, Suarez, Winker, Jonathan India,
Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. Like that's a good lineup. They just never had the pitching. But even
they had Sonny Gray.
Exactly, Sonny and Tyler Mahle was actually pretty solid for them last year. Just to like, they kept talking like they were like the bad boys in the division, and then kind of just broke it all up. Traded a bunch of pieces off, and then what does that send to like? What message does that send to your organization? Is it starting over? Like I have no idea what they're doing. And then they brought in Tommy Pham. Did you hear his comments?
Yeah,
like
he went there just to get his numbers.
Yeah, like I'm here for me is pretty much what he was saying. And
then he's batting 1 for 29 to start the year, 26, which is so funny.
I know. So and Joey Votto, like I said, has been terrible, and it's kind of a mess. We need to at least win 2 out of 3, if not sweep them. Another disappointment I have is the Phillies. I had no faith in the rotation, even though they do have Nola and Wheeler. But they're 5-8. They got all those big bats in the lineup now, Schwarber and Castellanos, Harper, but they haven't done anything yet. 5-8.
Gene Segura, don't forget him. He's good.
Yeah, Gene's a solid guy. And then the Texas Rangers are 3-9. They came back and beat the Mariners last night, but they got Semien and Seager and Garcia's in center, and they have some weapons. And I didn't think they would be that good, but they've got off to a terrible start. Did you guys have any disappointing teams you brought in?
Yeah, I had the Phillies like you.
So.
What'd you say?
I said I had the 3 that AJ said. So
wow.
I had only the Phillies, like you said. Like their lineup is really good. Nolan Wheeler's good. They should win every time they pitch. Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy that they're that bad. Now you think about it, like they had Castellanos, Schwarber, Harper, who I still think's overrated.
Harper's been terrible this year so far, and Schwarber's been really bad, like batting 120 bad.
Nice. My other one was the Astros. They're under 500, I believe, and like they still have a lot of their core group. I would say from like they got Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, and
Jordan,
Brantley still.
Well, even that shortstop, that up and coming shortstop, Pena. I don't remember his first name. He's supposed to be like the next Carlos Correa, and he's played well. Actually,
I haven't watched like really kept up with them, but like when I was looking at the standings, that's kind of how I gauged a lot of these teams. But I was surprised they were not like the Angels are in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one was Atlanta. They brought back a lot of people and they're under 500 as well. Like I know they don't have Acuna yet, but they won the World Series without him. So, and they lost Freddie Freeman, but they have Matt Olson, who I think's been playing pretty good.
Oh, he's been very good.
But I don't know if like their pitchers are just not doing good, or I don't know
anything about Soroka. Remember him?
Yeah.
Like he's not playing right now. I don't even know. I feel like
he must
been
be
gone
hurt
for 2.5 years.
He must be hurt, I would say.
Because I haven't seen him since we played.
He's the lefty, right?
That's Fried.
Fried's this is the righty. Okay.
Yeah. But I have not seen him since we played them in the playoffs in 2019 NLDS, something like that.
What's his first name?
Mike, I think. Mike Soroka. That sounds right. I know I think he had torn his Achilles or
ACL. Mike Soroka nears return from Achilles tear 1 month ago. I guess he hasn't returned yet.
Okay. Man, it's been a while.
Well, he tore it last June.
Okay. So maybe he had some injury against us and then tore it then. I also brought in 3 surprising teams so far. Obviously, like we mentioned, the Rockies are 8-4. Is that sustainable? Probably not. All 3 of these are probably not sustainable, but the Rockies are 8-4. They beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 to start the season, and since then they've been
that division.
Really well.
The top 4 teams are all like 8-4.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I expect the Padres to be, competitive, and I expect the Giants to be competitive, and obviously the Dodgers. But Rockies have played well, and then Diamondbacks have been terrible. The Cleveland Guardians are 7-5, which is also a shock to me to start the year. And then the Oakland A's are 8-6. And did you guys see
exactly the same 3 I had? Sorry, say that.
Did you guys see how many fans they had in the crowd the other night?
Didn't they have I saw it, but I don't remember.
2,700 is what they had in the crowd the other night.
Oh my God.
And then the night before that, they had 3,600. And they were like, 3,600. Like, that's the worst we've seen in 20 years. And then the next night, they had 1,000 less.
Oh, that is horrible.
It's brutal.
You go to a high school, like Washington High School, that's probably not 1,000, I would say, but like a football game, you'd probably get that. Maybe
Well, somebody was saying like a
Texas football, they have
Texas football,
20,000
easy
stands. You had to get tickets to go to the game.
I saw a video of one of the guys at the game. He was like, I'm at the A's game, and he was like walking around. You could literally hear like a pin drop. I mean, it was like dead silent. It's sad.
It would be kind of cool. You could hear like all the players yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that makes it worse is it's the biggest stadium in baseball. I mean, it was
the football stadium, the Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum, yeah. So it holds the most people of any stadium. So when there's that few, I mean, it literally oh, guys, it's terrible.
That's probably not helping them when they're trying to build a new stadium.
No,
that in Oakland that honestly looks really, really cool, but they'll probably go to Vegas.
On opening day, I don't remember if we talked about this, but the Rays said they sold out their stadium right for opening day, and they just didn't even open the upper bowl and even sell tickets for it.
So it was 12,000.
Yeah.
Well, the A's are kind of like what we were talking about with the Reds, of they were never good enough to make an NLC or an ALCS or a World Series, but they were always good. I mean, they always were in the race in the wild card or even for the division. But they trade off Chapman, they trade off Manaea, they trade off Matt Olson. I mean, they literally just unloaded everybody and didn't get much in return for any of those guys. So they're kind of in a literally, I can name most lineups in baseball, at least 6 out of the 9 guys or something. I have a really hard time besides Sean Murphy at catcher naming anybody from that lineup.
That Laureano guy.
Yes, that's true.
He got suspended for PEDs last year.
So he's still out this year, right?
I think he's back.
Is he?
I'm not sure. I haven't. I know it's hard to believe, but I haven't kept up on my Oakland A's baseball start the season.
Did you? You said you had the same 3 as me.
Yep, Cleveland, Rockies, Oakland.
I had the Mets too, just because they are 10-4, and I didn't have them. I think when we initially did the playoff predictions, I didn't have them making the playoffs. So I think they have the most wins in baseball.
Yeah.
But they've looked pretty good. And
I almost put them in there because I was surprised that they didn't disappoint because they're always projected to be good and they always underperform.
yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. And but I think they've won 3 in a row. They just took 3 or 4 out of the Giants, who I think are going to be one of the better teams in the league. So
The Mets rotation, that's what they're really depending on, even without DeGrom. Max Scherzer's been incredible, like everyone expected. But Carlos Carrasco's been really good, and I'm trying to think of anybody else they got.
They had someone else, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Can't
it's
think of it.
oh god, Tawan Walker.
Oh, Taijuan Walker. Okay.
Is he? I don't know if he's good. I think I just know him from MLB The Show.
Yeah. And I did have one other MLB thing here. Miguel Cabrera is 1 hit away from 3,000. I'm sure you guys saw
And
something.
then
about
Aaron
that.
Boone intentionally
I was
walks
gonna-
him.
I was gonna bring that up earlier when we were talking about the Triple Crown. But yeah, and he like really wanted to get his 3,000th against the Yankees.
Uh-huh.
Two
But-
like the I guess what like ESPN's 2 favorite teams to cover. Like they see anything Yankees and Dodgers, they're going crazy. But 2 of their managers just being just annoying.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting. I watched a segment on MLB Network the other night about like the 3,000 club of like guys who can get 3,000 hits, and like who besides Miggy in the next 15 years or so can get it, that are currently playing, obviously. And Mike Trout is at 17 or 1,800 hits, and he's 30 now, but he
And he gets hurt.
always gets hurt. So that's like the big problem.
I think
The
he'll
other
get
guy
like
they had-
2,500 or 28. Like I don't think he'll get to 300 or 3.
If he
not
can
that
stay
dude,
healthy, I think it's a lot.
maybe.
But he's got to stay healthy. And then Altuve was another one. He was at 1,800, but he's 32 already. I could see him playing into his early 40s though.
Yeah,
And then the other one was
I
Manny
could see
Machado.
Vladdy
Yeah.
because
I
he
can
hits
see
a high
Vladdy.
average and he's like 21.
What my problem with Vladdy is, and Vladdy was my MVP pick, and he's a phenomenal talent. At some point now, because he's so young, like he can kind of be out of shape and kind of get away with it. There's going to be a point in his career where he's got to kind of slim down a little bit.
Yeah.
Or it's going to catch up to him. But did you guys have anything else baseball wise?
Oh, did you guys? I saw something on Twitter. It was it showed like because Miggy got the Triple Crown in like 2012, I think, and they were showing like his stats, and they're like, "Is this the Miggy? Is this the best hitter of our generation?" And to me, no, Albert Pujols is. But there was like a huge argument on Twitter about it. I just want to hear what you guys thought.
Albert's better than Miggy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree.
I agree.
But Miggy's a stud though. Like Miggy's
Oh,
a
I
Hall of
love Miggy,
Famer,
but
and-
I'm just happy you guys agreed.
No, of our generation, yeah. I mean, are those the top 2? Can you guys think of somebody else that would be in that?
Like you could put Trout in there. Like Trout
Yeah.
has like
hasn't done a long
73
enough.
WAR. Then like I agree. Like I don't think like, but people were putting him in there.
Trout,
Also, not really like.
You could put Joey Votto. He's old, but he's not. No.
like Trout, I think can be the greatest of all time. But I'm afraid when people look back at his career, he's going to have too many injuries here that are
Mhm.
they're building up now over time.
Yeah.
Like you guys think it's
Um,
crazy how I was like looking like Stan Musial, like he had literally I think he's 4th all time in hits, or maybe 3rd or 4th.
Mhm.
He's up there, but obviously up there. But like I'm pretty sure one of his all of his years were like prime years. Basically, he was like an all-star his whole career. But one of those years he couldn't play because he had to go like fight off the Nazis. So just
Yeah.
slight work, and he still had like so many hits. I just find that crazy. Like 1 year of his prime completely gone, not because he was injured or anything, but he's still like got all these stats, which is mind-boggling to me.
Is Barry Bonds after our generation, or before?
Before.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But Albert Pujols would have won more MVPs if Barry Bonds wasn't playing the same time he was the
Mhm.
early 2000s.
I do want to get on to hockey here before Conlin's got to go. Again, let's start with a Blues recap here. We beat the Sharks 3-1 last night to begin our final road trip of the season. We officially will be playing the Wild in the first round. Now it's just about who can get home ice advantage with like 5 games left, I believe. But the Blues are absolutely on fire right now. We're 12-0-2 in our last 14. Robert Thomas is currently on a 15-game point streak. And I mean, he obviously has been very exciting to watch for probably 2 years now. But he's turning into like a borderline superstar, maybe. 20 goals and 55 assists is pretty incredible.
Every time he gets on the ice, it's like something to watch.
Yes.
Like he's always like doing something creative, and he always finds the extra pass. But the nice thing about him is like he used to strictly be a passer, and now in the last 2.5, 3 months, he's scoring too, and he's looking to score. He's not just looking to pass, because there's times in the past where he would only look to pass. He'd have a wide open net, wouldn't shoot it. He's looking to score now, so that it's like really like, whew, gets me going, boys.
No, that's very well said, because it's very true. Like he would pass up so many like shot opportunities for a difficult pass, but he's sniping stuff now, which is tremendous to see. Vladdy has turned into like, I mean, he was good like throughout the whole year, but these last 3-4 weeks has turned into like an absolute monster.
Kind of happy we didn't trade him.
Yeah,
Or put him in the expansion.
Seriously, he's turning into like right now like what Ovechkin does, like sniping everything and like running over people, like literally just like get out of my way.
Did you see that Booch hit the other night? I think I sent it to you guys. He smoked that guy at center ice. I mean, like that was a perfect form tackle.
Yes,
just rocked him.
Wait, did you guys see that? I'm sure you guys saw it, but wherever, I don't know how long ago this was, when he was skating, this guy tried to come and hit him like after the play was done. He just like knocks him off.
Yeah.
That was in Boston.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
No, we you know, I'm not gonna say we're the favorites, because we're not. But because Florida exists and they've won 12 straight and they've been phenomenal.
I thought you meant the first round series. You mean like overall?
Oh no, I'm saying we're not obviously the favorites. Like there's no, but it is all about getting hot at the right time, and we're arguably the hottest team in hockey. Florida again have won 12 straight. They're unreal right now. What are you smiling about?
So the funny thing is, like between the top 3 teams in our division, like Central, Colorado, the Wild, and the Blues, like we've all been on like 7-8 game winning streaks in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So the Wild have like 36 points in their last like 21 games, and the Blues have like 32 in their last 21 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the Avalanche or something around there too. It's just insane numbers. But yeah, I mean, Florida is also, I think they've won 12 or 13 in a row.
Yeah.
So.
The thing that puts us that like stands out to me is that any night we could have any 4 of our lines be the best line. Like last night in San Jose, the Logan Brown, who else was on that line? Dakota Joshua, and I think Nathan Walker was on that line. They were phenomenal. But like obviously the Booch, Thomas, Vladdy line has been great. O'Reilly, Perron, Saad could lead one night. Shen, Kairu, who else is on that line that I'm missing? Barbie, yeah. So I mean, Barbie's been phenomenal all year. So that line could lead any night. Benner's won 4 straight now. Huso's still solid. So I like our chances, and like you and I texted the other day about how we're 9-0-1 against the Wild in our last 10 or something like that.
Yeah, like I think we're 10-0 now.
It might be, yeah. So like we've completely dominated them. So even if they get home ice, and I think they have a game in hand still against us.
Yeah, they do.
But I like our chances, even if we have to go to Minnesota to start off the series.
Yeah, the only thing is we haven't played there yet, like in their building. Yeah. I don't think, which makes me a little nervous. It also makes me nervous because we're kind of a similar team, where we're both big, like tough, and I think their defense is a little tougher than ours.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the front end a little like more skilled. So I don't know.
Those lines come in, like I think their top line with Kaprizov, Hartman, and Zuccarello could be the best line of both teams. But
I agree.
the depth is just so tough for us.
But we roll really solid lines, and we get a little production out of our fourth line too.
Yeah, exactly. So I did have a question. Do you think, both of you, do you think Florida will run away with it, or do you think, because like Washington's got 97 points now out of nowhere, they're tied with Pittsburgh, and
Yeah.
like literally it's so wide open. So do you think Florida will run away with it, or do you think it'll be 6, 7 games
Like the conference?
Yeah.
I'm
starting to lose faith in Toronto, to be honest. Like, I know you
Really?
haven't been real high on them, like,
Yeah.
but their goaltending, they lost 8-1 to the Lightning last night. Like, I was watching it, and like goaltending's been terrible, and
And the Lightning have only won like 4 of their last 11.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I don't know.
but
So do you think Florida's got it?
no.
I mean, we'll make our predictions in the next week or so when the playoffs come, but
Yeah, I think Florida relies too much on scoring, and I mean their goalies Bobrovsky's had a really good year, but also I don't know how much I trust them in the playoffs when they rely on their offense so much.
Their goal differential is 103 for like goals and goals allowed, which the next highest and whatever that Eastern is 68.
Yeah, they just outscore everybody.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Colorado's is 86. They're up there.
Colorado's like reminds me of Florida, in that I've mentioned this before, and like Darcy Kemper, I don't have trust in him right now. Like, he's kind of got to prove it to me a little bit, that he can be that guy. Even though I said that the other night, like a week ago, I was telling my dad, I was like, Darcy Kemper is not that guy. He's not. And he was absolutely phenomenal, and like shut out the Oilers or something, which I thought was funny. But no, it's the same thing with Colorado. They're extremely talented offensively. They skate by everybody. But is that going to hold up when it comes to playoff hockey?
Oh, I have like the standings up right now, and you guys are talking about how hot all these teams are.
Also,
so number 1, Colorado Avalanche, they're 8-2 the last 10 games. Calgary 8-1-1, Minnesota 7-1-2, the Blues 9-0-1, Edmonton 8-1-1. So like the top 5 teams are all on like the last 10 games have been playing really good.
Yep.
And I don't know, I could be wrong on this, but I think when the Blues made the playoffs, the year they won the Stanley Cup, I think they only had like 94 points or something like that.
Yep.
And we're at 105 right now, and we're third in our division.
Yeah.
It's like the good teams are really good and the bad teams are really bad. So
you mentioned how dominant Minnesota and Colorado have been. I saw a stat that us, Colorado, and Minnesota combined were like 25-1-4 in their last 30. Or it's just like insane stuff.
It's ridiculous.
Who would be your favorite out of the West right now?
Oh God.
I love putting you on the spot with this stuff.
Dude, I have no idea. You just said that stat: the Avalanche, the Wild, the Blues, and I don't want to pick against the Blues. Even last year I really liked the Wild because they're a heavy team. I mean, for a 7-game series, is tough. But the Avalanche have lost like 3 games at home all year.
Yeah.
Like,
31-5-3 at home.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Oilers like have been on just ripping it up lately.
Yes.
They've looked good. Their goaltending looks like fixed, I guess, quote unquote fixed. And then, I mean, even Calgary's been ridiculous all year. And I didn't even have them making the playoffs when we started the year. So
I looked at something for Calgary, or like this NHL post. I don't know what it was on like Instagram. They gave Calgary the best percentage to win the Stanley Cup, which to me I thought was like,
I could see it. I mean, I don't know. They are very, very good. Also, we talked about MVP picks a while ago, and at that time, I forgot to mention, but I think Johnny Gaudreau also could, throw his name in there too.
Definitely, totally.
But Markstrom's been ridiculous, and I think they're a little better. I think Markstrom is obviously got a leg up on Mike Smith in Edmonton, and I think he's got a little leg up. Well, I think he's probably the best goaltender actually in the conference, besides maybe Saros for Nashville, but I don't think Nashville gets out of the first round.
No, and do you think Vancouver, because Vancouver's coming up hot here, do you think they beat out Vegas for that last spot?
I don't think either of them make it.
Dallas is the last spot right now.
Oh, I forgot about Dallas. That's right.
I'm looking at the standings. This is the first time I've looked at the standings in like a month. So
Okay.
I think the Kings will hold on. They have a really easy schedule coming up. Like they have like 3 games left, and all the teams they play are just bad.
So I don't have it pulled up. Is it LA and Dallas is the last 2?
Nashville and Dallas are the last 2.
Are the-
LA
are the-
has so the last 4, Edmonton has 96, LA has 94, Nashville has 93 points. These are all points. And Dallas has 91. Then Vegas has 89 and Vancouver has 87.
Okay.
How many games are left? Not that many, right?
5 or 6.
4 or 5,
Yeah.
depending
whatever
on
team.
3.
So Edmonton's already clinched the playoff. It's really, yeah. So it's LA, Nashville, Dallas, Vegas, and then Vancouver. Vancouver has a 3.8% chance to make it, according to CBS.
They're not making it.
Yeah, I thought they were closer. Never mind.
And then the East, it's already set. Everyone else is.
Yep.
Yeah, the Washington is 97, and then the Islanders, who are the first eliminated, have 80 points.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can come out of that crazy conference.
I think the Kings would have to lose like their next 3 games for the Canucks to even have a chance.
Mhm.
It's just not happening.
Very, very exciting stuff, though, and we'll give our predictions. I think next week is the last week, or this upcoming week is the last week of the regular season. So we'll make our predictions, post them, and all that good stuff. But Conlon, are you leaving us now?
Yep, I gotta go pick up a grill. So,
Grill Master Conlon.
yep, Grill Master Conlon. So I will be grilling up maybe do some kebabs, maybe burgers. I gotta pick up the grill and then go to the store. So
Brats.
definitely burgers, maybe maybe. Probably not. Definitely burgers, maybe some jalapeno poppers.
Mm.
We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't start raining. That would kind of suck, but still.
That would not be fun to grill in the rain.
Play some beer pong, drink a few beers, grill up, and have a good time. So
Good stuff.
all right, sounds good. See you guys.
Yep.
See you guys.
Take care.
Or see you later.